accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes. What you have to realize is that we're all just a mouse that a cat has by the tail. Every single move we make, from the mundane to the monumental, the red light that we stop at or run, the people we have sex with or won't with us, the airplanes that we ride or walk out of. It's all part of death's sadistic design, leading to the grave.
Design. Does that mean if you figure out the design, you can cheat death?
Alex, you've already done that by walking off the plane. Your friend's departure shows that death has a new design for all of you. Now you have to figure out how and when it's coming back at you. Play your hunch, Alex, if you think you can get away with it. But remember, the risk of cheating the plan, of disrespecting the design, could incite a fury that could terrorize even the Grim Reaper. And you don't even want to fuck with that, Mac Daddy.
Night has now declared the outbreak a global health emergency after a tenfold jump in cases in just a week. And in a sign authorities are taking this very seriously, a cruise ship has been quarantined in an Italian harbor. 7,000 people on board were waiting to find out whether a sick passenger from China had the coronavirus. And those Americans who had been evacuated from China, we showed you the pictures last night to that military base in California. They have now learned that if any of them tests positive for the virus, they'll all be quarantined for 2 weeks. ABC's Steve Osunsami leads us off. He's outside the CDC in Atlanta tonight.
As health officials were declaring a global emergency today, this was the scene outside pharmacies across Asia, where they were running out of face masks and people are desperate to protect themselves. Here in the U.S., what authorities have been predicting for more than a week has happened in Chicago, the nation's first person-to-person transmission of coronavirus. A man in his 60s got it from his wife. She returned from China January 13th, symptom-free, and felt sick 3 days later. Both husband and wife are hospitalized tonight in isolation.
I recognize that this news may raise people's concern, but I want to state clearly that this development is something we have been prepared for.
Outside China, there are now 98 confirmed cases of people sick with this respiratory disease, and 6 of those cases are here in America. The nearly 200 passengers who landed in California from Wuhan, China Wednesday are learning some disturbing news tonight. If just one of them tests positive for the coronavirus, they all may need to remain in quarantine at this military base for 2 weeks.
Our accommodations here on base.
It's supposed to be voluntary, and they were supposed to be able to leave by Saturday. A passenger who tried to get up and leave today was ordered by authorities to stay. Inside China, an epidemic. More than 8,000 people are sick and more than 170 dead. More cases than the SARS outbreak that swept through that country in 2003. Hundreds of Americans are still stuck there trying to get home. Priscilla Dickey and her daughter are 2 of them.
It's an interesting feeling. You're trapped, you're isolated.
U.S. authorities are scheduling another flight to Wuhan, China to pick up stranded Americans, and it could fly as early as Monday. In Italy, a coronavirus scare nearly ended this cruise. Our correspondent, Maggie Rulli, is there.
More than 6,000 passengers and crew were trapped on this cruise ship for more than 12 hours after a woman started showing flu-like symptoms. Now, a short time ago, her test came back negative for coronavirus, but authorities say this cruise ship quarantine shows just how high anxiety is right now around the globe.
There's a possible vaccine that's on the way, but it's still months away from clinical trials.
All right, so let's get to Steve. He's live outside the CDC in Atlanta tonight. And Steve, so many watching this unfold, not only here in the U.S., but around the world. What are the symptoms of coronavirus and who are authorities saying are most susceptible?
Well, authorities say that the symptoms are fever, cough, and shortness of breath, and they're really paying attention to anyone who has traveled to or from the affected region. But they point out that these symptoms are very similar to the flu, which has been much more deadly. They say in the U.S. this season, more than 8,000 estimated deaths in the U.S. this flu season alone. David?
Steve Otansami leading us off tonight.
Brakati Hawa, Brakati Hawashai, Brakati Hawa, Brakati Hawashai, Brakati Hawa, Brakati Hawashai, Call Lay Mihawa, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim Rakal Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, which are a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity, and diligently putting out videos throughout the week to feed the sheep. This is McCoy from the Triple VA camp. I'm going to get right into it.
So what is life like for people at the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak? Well, take a look at this video. It tells in part the story. Images of a highway in Wuhan before the outbreak. And this is what it looks like now. Well, CNN's David Culver has more on what is happening in Wuhan and elsewhere in China.
A normally traffic-jammed highway in the city of Wuhan, China. Near empty, only a few passing vehicles. Public transportation shut down. City buses sit untouched. Only a few residents spotted outside. Eerie for a city 11 million people call home. Major food chains closing to customers, from Starbucks to KFC to McDonald's. Lights off inside. This Walmart open and crowded. Shoppers wearing face masks inside and quickly buying up what's left, leaving bare produce stands behind. Outside the lockdown zone, similar scenes across mainland China.
There's 24 million people in Shanghai, and I'm walking in the middle of the street.
American college student Jenna Davidson arrived in Shanghai a few weeks ago for the spring semester.
You know, we got here before the outbreak, and it went south really quick.
She says finding food in the massive city has gotten increasingly difficult.
They shut down our campus. We almost felt as though they didn't realize that we were still living on it, because we didn't even have hot water for a few days, and the cafeterias on campus are closed. So we started realizing, well, we need food, and most stores within walking distance have been shut down, or it's like zombie land in there. Everyone's fighting for what's left on the shelves.
Jenna initially tried to keep positive.
This is the guy who takes my temperature 9 times a day.
She even sent this photo to her dad, trying to reassure him.
For a while, I wasn't telling my dad everything, but he was finding out on the news just how bad it was. So it's been hard on him.
She and her fellow classmates now booked on flights to get out. Destination, anywhere but here. Where are you going?
Africa.
Who do you know in Africa?
I don't know anyone in Africa. And what's most stressful is, even though we're leaving, I still don't feel like we're in the clear yet, because what if we catch it in the taxi?
So as you can see here in Wuhan, it's getting real over there. You see, they barely got foods in the markets. Nobody's in the streets, right? And she said no stores are in walking distance. And you see her clearly walking in the street. So she's probably walking who knows how far to get to an actual store to buy food. But this is just one of the things that Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai said was going to happen. Let me see. This is 2nd Esdras 15. Let's go to 4. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And we know there's Israelites obviously in Wuhan because we're scattered everywhere. So, but probably more than likely, nobody's out of there is going to be saved. Probably. I'm not sure if there's prophets over there or not. People are in the truth over there, but more than likely, everybody over there is going to die. It says, verse 5, behold, saith Yahweh Bashimi Al-Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, destruction. So this is just one of the plagues. Okay, this is just one. This is not even multiple ones. This is just one. This is just what the disease is going to do. Okay. It says, where is it? Verse 15. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth not. And the World Health Organization just deemed this as declared it a national emergency. This disease. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their hands. A man shall desire to go into the city, and shall not be able. You know, these people clearly, they want to go into the streets, the cities. You see how populated it be before the virus. But now people are not going, because why? They deem it's not necessary. It's not worth it. They don't want to get caught up in the diseases. And this right here is on its way right here. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And this is what's going to clearly happen, because if there's no food in the markets, there's no food in the stores, what do you think the people are going to do? Just starve? No. Like the scriptures say, they're going to go into houses. Okay, they're going to they're going to go into people's houses, and they're going to take out what they need. Okay, this is just what people are going to need. These are heathen. These are the actual heathen. So, and this is Moab of all people. So you know how Moab gets down. Moab is like pigs. They'll eat anything. Anything. So it's no telling what they gonna do. But like I said, this is just one. So this disease led to a quarantine, which led to the trucks and things not being able to come in and deliver food, etc., etc. But this is just one thing, the disease. Okay, imagine multiple ones. The disease plus earthquakes, plus storms. Imagine multiples hitting at once, which is going to go down in Jacob's trouble. Like Yahushua said, this is just the beginning of sorrows. This is just the beginning. But with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakal, Kadash, double honor to the apostles and elders, which are a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the sincere Akim pushing this truth and sincerity, and those who putting on videos up throughout the week to feed the sheep. Adawan Ratazah Thumb to Mayim Akim Yakal. Shalom.